Yeah, August has been a great month for me. Obviously, it did well in DC, and then even in Montreal, and obviously Cincinnati. It's been a great couple weeks for me, and I'm really excited to go into the rest of this month and hopefully a little bit into September as well.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Hey, Coco, Crisaldo, USOpen.org. In Cincinnati, you talked a little bit about the difference in your game not being so different after all, but it was just a matter of you executing. And I wonder if you can elaborate a little bit on what has enabled you to hit this high level of execution in the month of August.
I think just confidence and trusting myself. I think I trust the work that I've done in practice, and I hope that it can continue to translate into matches. So I think just trusting myself. Obviously, I have the new team around me, so seeing a different perspective can sometimes just change things completely. So I think I have a new perspective, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Okay, Andrew, go ahead.
Sorry.
No problem. Andy Jones from ESPN and Skate. First, want to ask you, because I've talked to Sydney McLaughlin a few times this year, and about the great commercial that you had with New Balance about how she says you're a great person. So you talk about that bond with her from meeting her at the Open last year.
Yeah.
And has BG given you like any nickname, and have you tried to sway him to cheer for Kawhi Leonard more than his Warriors?
Meeting Sydney, I met her, at the Open, and obviously she's a really nice person. I think she comes off as very genuine, and that was like only for a brief second, to be honest, because it was right after my match. But then obviously I got to know with her a lot more when we filmed that. We spent a long day on the set, and I was learning about her life, and she was learning about mine, and it was a lot of similarities. And yeah, she's an incredible athlete, and one of the greatest athletes on the track for a reason. And yeah, BG, he hasn't really given me any nicknames, but he has a lot of nicknames for other people, or like shots and different tennis shots and everything. He might have, I don't think he's ever called me anything, and if he has, I didn't pay attention to it. But yeah, he has a lot of unique stuff. I'm learning like some of the shots. Like sometimes he'll call like the kick slicer. He'll be like, I want a KS right now, and like I didn't know what that meant at first. So now I know what it means. But yeah, he hasn't given me any crap about Kawhi or anything yet.
Levitt Cabas from Sportico. It's obviously the 50th anniversary of equal pay at the U.S. Open. There are still lots of existing inequities. What changes would you most like to see to reduce those inequities?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the U.S. Open, first the 50th anniversary, they're having the gala tonight, so I'm going. So I'm really happy to be a part of that. And yeah, there's obviously a lot of inequities when it comes to prize money, more on the 1,000 and 500 and 250 level. And they have a plan in place from what I told. I think it's like a 10-year plan to kind of improve that situation. But I definitely think that a lot of it needs to be improved, especially in these events. I mean, at least when really paid attention this summer, just the crowd at the 500 and 1,000 events that I've played, where it was combined, and I will say like at least my matches were like pretty much more crowded or the same crowded as some of the top seeds on the men's side. So I don't think it's a traction issue on obviously in some tournaments, yes, but especially in like the 1,000 events, I don't think it's necessarily an attraction issue. So I think we have a long ways to go, but I am proud to say that where we are now, especially in the Grand Slams.
Just a reminder, no shooting from the seats, please. Thank you very much. Court.
Coco, Courtney Nguyen, WTA. How do you contrast or compare how you feel going into this Open to the last few that you've played, given what you've done in August?
I think I'm obviously a lot more confident, and I have, I don't know. I think the mindset is different. I think it's having like that first round loss in Wimbledon shows that it wasn't really as bad as it could happen. So I'm not going into this tournament worried if I lose early or not. I can't really control that result. So I think now I'm going in with a lot more confidence, and I feel like, no matter the scoreline in the match, I can be able to problem solve and troubleshoot my way out. So I think that, I don't have, and I know I can win matches not playing my best game now. I think I wasn't playing my best in every single match in DC and Cincinnati is impossible, but I do think that I feel much more confident in my B or C game.
Brian.
Hey, Coco. Brian Lewis, New York Post. Tangentially related to the equal pay question, I'm curious, WTA finals could conceivably be going to Saudi Arabia. I'm curious your thoughts on that matter, considering treatment of women there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we don't know much about it as players, and right now it's just a rumor, so I don't know what's going to happen. I saw the whole discourse go on Twitter, so I don't really have a lot of information regarding that, and I'd rather, not speak on it until it's set in stone.
Willie.
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. Hi, Coco. You've spoken a lot after defeats about learning from defeats. What about learning from victories? What has helped you learn from victories, perhaps, that you've been able to build on those?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot over this last couple weeks, more so on my wins, I think, than I have in the past. I think that, especially in that final against Muchova, I wasn't playing my best tennis, but I was still able to win that match and win it, in straight sets. So I think the most I've learned over the course of this summer is that I don't have to play A+ tennis to win. And obviously, going into the match, you hope to play the best tennis that you can play, but it's not possible all the time. So I think I have much more confidence now in other aspects of my game. Maybe if my serve isn't working, then I have confidence in my ground strokes or vice versa. I think I'm more confident in being able to problem solve, and I think that just comes with experience too. Sometimes I think when I wasn't playing my best tennis or wasn't playing great, I kind of would shut down a little bit mentally, but now I think I'm just figuring out as I go.
Darrell Johnson rolling out. I spoke to you yesterday at the New Balance event, but wanted to speak to you more outside of endorsements. What are some of your business endeavors, your business aspirations?
Yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. I haven't really found what I'm quite passionate in outside of tennis, to be honest. I mean, I really do love fashion, and I love makeup, and I love that type of thing, and I just haven't really thought about how I would build that into a brand per se. But I think it just comes with growth. I mean, I'm at the age right now where I'm really trying to find myself, I guess, outside of tennis, because I do want to, venture out into other things. I just haven't found, what really speaks to me, because usually growing up, I've always been the person to hyperfixate on hobbies and then move on after like a month on one thing. So I'm really trying to find something that sticks. And I think with tennis being so much a part of my life, it's sometimes hard to find passion in other things, to be honest.
Hi, Coco. David Law from the Tennis Podcast. You mentioned the work that you've put in and the new team that you've got over this summer. I just wonder, since Wimbledon, what messages have you had from your new team, and Brad in particular, that maybe you haven't had before?
Yeah, I think for me with with BG, I mean, it's just really, I think I have a lot more confidence in my game, and people can say you play good or the opposite, but I think hearing it from someone who's probably seen countless of my matches, I don't know how many he's maybe commentated on, but for sure watched countless of my matches and worked with some of the best players in the game. I think you just really believe it, and the way that he says it, sometimes it's not always about the message. I don't think the message has changed for me. It's more about how the message was relayed to me, and I think hearing that from his perspective just helps me a lot. And he's a very relaxed guy. Like, he's very relaxed. Sometimes I'll be practicing and it'll maybe practice points with another player and it's like 30-all or deuce, and he'll like say something completely random, like a joke or something. And it's just little things like that just made me realize that, tennis is serious, but it's not as serious as sometimes my head makes it out to be, and I really should enjoy it out there. And then Para, he's the same way. I think, he's a little bit more into the game sometimes, but I think like being around Brad and learning, I think we've just learned a lot, just having fun. And I think the last couple of weeks I've had fun, and the wins and the losses, even in that match against Jess where it was 5-all in the third and I got broken, I was still like enjoying the match and having fun, whereas other circumstances I would be stressed out. So I think he's really gotten me to have fun in those tough moments and embrace the hardships of tennis.
Okay, we'll have three more. Meredith, David, Cindy. Go ahead.
Hey there, Meredith Cash from Insider. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
I wanted to ask about, everyone has spoken about how you've had a great August and you're riding so much momentum coming into this tournament, but obviously expectations come with that, especially because this is your home slam. Mm-hmm. How do you mentally and emotionally handle that, and how has that changed over time?
I think for me, the best way, that mindset has changed throughout as I've grown up. But now I'm just going in and I feel confident in my preparation and I feel confident in my execution, and I just hope that, everything works out. But also at the same time, I'm not too worried if it isn't. I'm really just enjoying the process of having a tennis career, the ups and downs. And I know I'm up right now, and I know I'm gonna experience a down. Hopefully not this week, but it could happen. I know it's gonna happen. It's impossible to stay up all the time, but I think that's really where the mindset has changed. I think sometimes I'll let a loss get too much into me, and I realize that everybody loses, even the best of the best. So I think that I really have to apply those mistakes and learn from those mistakes and apply it into future matches. So that's really where the mindset has changed, whereas before I feel like I would think too much on the loss and let that loss affect me for some weeks, and now I'm losing a couple matches in a row or not winning consecutive matches. So I think now I'm just doing really well bouncing back.
Okay, David, that's...
Hi, Coco. David Kane, tennis.com. You've worked with Barilla for a while, and I'm just curious if you have a favorite pasta shape.
That's a good question. I guess it depends. For 4 matches, I just go with penne pasta because I don't like the long pasta when I'm before matches because I'm not the cleanest eater, so get on my kit. So I do like penne pasta. But I guess, other than that, just spaghetti. I like cacio e pepe, with the spaghetti shaped pasta. So yeah, those are probably my favorites.
You like the penne with the lines or penne without the lines?
Really the tournaments, whatever they have, we don't have much choices with lines or without lines. And I honestly never really paid attention. That's the first time I've heard that there was the difference. So I guess now I'm going to pay attention to see if they have lines or not.
Nowhere to go after that. Cindy?
I am so not going there. Hi, Coco. It's Cindy Schmerler. 6 years ago, you lost the junior final to Amanda Anisimova, and she has taken an extended leave from the game and now seems entered college. Are you surprised by that? And can you understand a player who just doesn't want to be out there?
Yeah, I would say when she announced the initial break, I was surprised. I mean, I don't think anybody was expecting or anything, but I can understand, really. There's probably a lot of players who need to take a break who don't take a break, and not putting this for myself, and maybe, one day I'll need to take a break, I don't know. But I definitely can understand when tennis has been so much a part of your life, and she's been good also. She's been a great player in juniors and obviously in pros, doing well. So I think it's a much different pressure when you're, good, I guess, throughout pretty much when you hold the racket. I mean, Amanda's always been one to watch, at least since I was a little girl. Then obviously since she was always considered to be the next thing. And I can really understand the pressure that she's probably felt. And, she had a lot to deal with the loss of her dad. And I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he started her in tennis. So, and I was really surprised personally how she was able to continue to play. And she beating me at Wimbledon, that I think a year or two after. So I was really amazed how she was able to overcome all of that. So I completely understand, and I think that's a thing that people forget, that she's human and athletes are human, and just because we're professional doesn't mean everybody needs a break from everything. And maybe college has always been one of her aspirations. I don't know, but I think as long as she's happy and healthy, I think everybody should support her decision.